they won't come down.
Good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. This is Jeremiah's J-Man Monero with J-Man Speaks, coming to you live and direct with 12 days straight of live streaming. That's the 12 days of live streaming. And today we have a special guest. We're going to put the clock up. Today we're talking about for sale by owners in 15 minutes or less. One of the things that I like to talk about when we're talking about for sale by owners is creating what I like to call a FSBO survival kit. So we're going to bring in somebody special, kind of talk about how to help FSBO stay safe, because when you add value to that relationship, then you're going to be the one that they choose as their agent. So here we go. Let me make sure I get, where's my applause at? My applause, everybody. I got to find it. Here we go. Excited applause. All right, there she is. Boom. All right, it's my pleasure to introduce Tracy, the safety lady Hawkins, hailing from Kansas City, Missouri. Not my favorite place in the world because I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, but we'll talk about that at a later date because we have a running clock of 15 minutes or less. We're talking about for sale by owners today. Tracy, when I mentioned FSBOs, what was the first thing that you thought of? Because I think this is great value to start off with.
FSBOs don't like real estate agents. FSBOs don't respect real estate agents. Huh?
Period, right?
I mean, that's a complete sentence. If you think about it, they think, how hard can it be to sell my own house? All I have to do is put a sign out in the front yard, save the commission, and make all the money. That's their number one thought. They're not thinking about the potential dangers involved. So that's where I say real estate can lead with safety. And that's my theme. Anything I talk about, I want real estate agents to stand apart, lead with safety. So you need to tell the FSBOs what they don't know, be their hero.
I can be your hero, baby. I hear that song in my head. But it's such a good point, because one of the lines that I like to use if somebody's giving me a little bit of pushback, because initially that conversation is going to be combative, right? They're like, no, I want to do it myself. And then I say, well, how long have you been letting strangers into your home? And they go, what do you mean? Well, basically anybody off the street that calls your phone number that you've advertised in your front yard or online, you're going to allow into your house without anything else, without a further question. You're going to let them in your house. Is that correct? And they're like,
and that's number one. That is number one. Never let strangers into your house who walk up to your door. And like you said, I guarantee you, someone knocks on their door and says, I want to buy your house. They're opening the door. They're letting complete strangers walk through where their family sleeps, where their family lives, and they don't have a clue. And so the thing that I say is that I have made a career teaching real estate agents to be safe. And so for a regular person off the street to think, I can figure it out, absolutely not. So I want to be the hero. Step in and do something that no one else is doing. Now, I've been a real estate agent, excuse me, and one thing that I know is who's talking to a FSBO will say two things. Number one, I will put your house in the MLS and get it exposure. Number two, I have a buyer for you. And I'm saying, stop it. Stop if they know better. So be the agent who stands out. Be the one who either mails this to them, and you have the link, J-Man, where they can get this. I wrote it and I made it a PDF for free, where you're the agent who has your business card stapled to the space that I put down there. Hand them these 13 safety tips. Things like, number one, never let strangers in your house. And it tells how that's pretty much what they're going to do. Number two, screen prospective buyers. They've never thought about it, don't have a plan in place. Have the first meeting in a public place that may or may not be realistic, but at least it's raising the awareness that you're about to have a stranger in your house and no one knows who's there. So that's where in this day and age we talk about virtual, and I do need to update this. But people right now, we're all living in this virtual world. We need to do a real quick Zoom before you can come to my house. We need to do a FaceTime. Let me get to know you. Let me get some information from you, and so on. And these are things that I guarantee you they've never thought about.
Right. And it's so funny. Like, we want to sell something on Facebook Marketplace and we'll go meet somebody at the parking lot at Walmart, but you want to sell your $500,000 house and you're like, come on over.
Come on in, stranger.
About the guy buying a bike for $100 than, you know.
Exactly. And then another thing is things that they don't think about, like don't give your work or your home schedule. And the first thing they do, if someone calls and says, I want to come see your house, well, we can't do it this evening because my kid has band practice. We have soccer practice. I have to go to church. So what are you doing? You're telling a complete stranger, hey, here's the perfect time to burglarize my house. FSBOs don't have the mindset. They're not thinking about that. So one of the tips is not to tell your schedule, and then never show your home alone. So what they're thinking is, hey, I put my house on the market. I don't have to juggle around the real estate agent's schedule or anyone's schedule. So what I'm saying, and what you as a real estate agent is saying, is this is dangerous. You don't know who that is. You need to increase witness potential. So you need someone there with you. And then also, if you can't get anyone there with you, you need to let someone know that you're going to have a complete stranger in your house with you walking around. So then they're thinking, wait a minute, what am I doing? And then so many other tips. Have an escape route pre-planned. So hide your valuables. No one is talking to FSBOs about getting medicine out of medicine cabinets, jewelry out of jewelry boxes, the electronic devices that we so carelessly leave strewn around our house. We don't think about it because it's our house. So your kid has their little gaming system. You have a camera, a cell phone, a tablet just around your house. You're not thinking there's someone who I don't know walking through my house. How easy is it for them to steal it? So this is actually doing good. Part of the code of ethics is you're supposed to serve your community, and that's a core standard for the National Association of Realtors, as you know. So here's to serve your community. FSBO list with you, you're doing something good. You're serving your community.
Right, and I like, so when you guys get this form, it's in the comments below. You're gonna put in your information, be able to download it for free, no obligation. But here's an opportunity, because I always think about video. Each one of these tips could be a video that you create as an agent that somebody could find, like, should I show my house alone? Should I pre-screen buyers? Right, this is what I'm doing. This is a Google search. I'm acting it out. So all of these are opportunities to create content. Number one. But have conversations, have people that you could refer to them, because being their friend, building that relationship, building that rapport is so important, so that then when they're ready, because they will list with an agent. Studies show that 73% of them do end up listing with an agent, depending on the market. And if you're that friend and not the person who said, you know what, if you don't use me, somebody's going to kill you in your house because you're letting strangers in. It's like that's not the best approach, folks. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The approaches are coming from service. So you're saying, here, you're not talking, and I tell agents, do not talk about selling their house. You're not there to say, if you get tired, I'll sell your house, or let me help you. Or no, no, no. Your sole purpose is to take this sheet. You can ball it up and stick it in their door handle. You can mail it to them. You can hand it to them if you see them outside, but under no circumstances are you to talk about selling their house. That's not what this is about. This is being a good neighbor. This is serving your community. So don't even go there. And a lot of times we get sellers get a little careless and they don't think along the lines of getting things out of sight. Social media. We talk a lot about social media. How many people who have their house on the market aren't thinking that there may be criminals lurking, watching, looking for information? So here you are saying, I think that's tip number 13, beware of oversharing on social media. So if you're the seller, the FSBO who's out there saying, oh, thank God we don't have to have buckets around, we've got the roof fixed, or we're knee deep in water in the basement, but we're going to get it fixed. No, no, no. So you're advising them there's things that you need to do. If you're sharing vacation plans on social media, FSBO, you are telling criminals when to come to your house. So this involves a whole different kind of mindset, and that's what I want real estate agents to deliver to FSBOs. And I think it was you who said that the FSBO market's about to explode. People are going to start trying to sell, and especially in the spring.
Go ahead. I was going to say that, we've done such a great job of telling people how great the market is and how we sold things over asking in a couple hours and a couple days. So you didn't say all the things that we did to make it sell, to have multiple offers, to do all the things that make us different, that set us apart from the average for sale by owner. And so they think they can do it themselves. And so it's up to us to help educate them and provide these resources. But I want to drop a couple more because the clock is ticking. The scripts, right? So I began my real estate career prospecting FSBOs, right? Somebody said to me, oh, wait, you should go call on people who want to sell. Oh, wait, there's red and white signs in front of the house of people that want to sell. Okay, great. And so what I would do, and this is where phone calls versus door knocking, guys. I would go and knock on the door and say, hey, Tracy, let's say if you're the potential FSBO, I would say, Tracy, how are things? She go, who are you? Well, I'm here. What do you mean you're here? Well, you want to sell, don't you? Yeah. Okay, well, the only reason you haven't listed is because you want to save the commission. Am I right? Yeah. Well, if I could show you a way, and write this down, rewind this and write it down for you guys. If I could show you a way where my fee for service would be built right into the transaction and I could protect your best interests, do you think we could work together today? Yes. Okay, can I come in? And that's where you start doing your feet and going in. Okay, there's one script. Now, if you guys want more scripts, I'm going to put a link in the comments for you. I have 3 or 4 different FSBO scripts. I have a buyer script, which you only use if you actually do have a buyer. And in that kind of an example, I don't want to list the house. I want to sell the house to the buyer that I'm working with, because why would I list it and create more competition for myself, right? And all of these things, it's always me going to the house first. I'm not coming with the buyer. I'm not coming with anybody else. But just like Tracy said, it's about building that rapport, building that relationship. And depending on what state you're in, I don't know how Missouri is, Tracy, but in New York, when you sell a house, you have an agency disclosure, you have a fair housing disclosure, you have a lead paint disclosure. You know, there's about 4 or 5 different disclosures that we have to give the folks before they even do anything. Forget about writing an offer and being able to evaluate what an offer looks like. So what other tips, tricks, strategies, programs would you think would be good for sale by owners?
I love the content idea. And like you encourage people to always do a video, and each of these 13 items can be a video. You can post it on social media. And then here's what I'm saying. Nextdoor is a great social media platform. Yeah. Share this kind of information, because there are people on there I'm telling you, almost every day I look on there and someone's looking for somewhere to live, someone wants to sell something. So this is where real estate agents need to be. Post the tips there. Just on your page, post them there, because normally what I see on there is here's a ring video. Do you recognize this person? They stole my package off the porch. Be of service, post safety and security tips. And I say post these kind of tips. Content is king. Share this information with your database. You never know who on there is thinking about selling or who knows someone who wants to sell. I did an interview for, I want to say, Boston Globe, and where they interviewed me about dangers and safety tips for FSBOs. That's something else. I didn't provide you the link, but you can Google that. That is something that you can provide to your FSBOs. So the sheet is one, and then in a couple of weeks, you follow up. I found that may be of interest. It's talking about these safety tips. So now it's not just coming from the real estate agent that there may be danger. Here's an expert, a safety expert, saying it may be danger, and it's in a notable publication. That's your second contact. So again, when you talk about statistics, and I'm looking at the clock too, I want to say that is it 81% of the time that that the consumer doesn't use the same real estate agent. They love them. They told them they loved them. They fell all over.
82%. Yeah. But they can't remember their name because the agents don't stay in contact with them.
They don't stay top of mind. So that's why I say safety, safety, safety. So here you are, safety tips. Okay, makes sense. And if that doesn't scare them sufficiently, then here you are following up with something else. There's an article about the dangers. And if, 2 weeks later, something else. So always of service, never selling. So that's one thing that I say. And I'm trying to see if there's any other tips on here.
While you're thinking, let me just expand on something that you mentioned, because I love the video idea. We didn't even talk about this ahead of time, and this is why I love what we do, where if you make the videos, right, and we're talking short form video content, each one of those questions could be answered in 90 seconds or less, because I always talk about creating content for your target audience. So if you want to specialize in for sale by owners, then you take those videos and you make one a little bit longer, 5 minutes or less for YouTube, and then you do 90 seconds or less for YouTube Shorts, 90 seconds or less for Instagram Reels, 90 seconds or less for TikTok. And even TikTok, you could do a fun one where you're dancing and you're pointing to the 13 tips, right? Staying alive. Oh, look at that. Staying alive, right? And then or let me be your hero, baby. Boom. I'm pointing to 13 different tips as I go through.
And let me say this before I forget. Along the line of the content, this information is helpful even for those who are thinking about selling their house. So not just FSBOs, think about it. So if you're posting this on your social media, wherever you are trying to share information, think about how helpful this is. Hey, this is good if you're selling your house, and it's also good if you're going to put your house on the market, getting valuables out of sight, not letting people who want to buy your house come inside, not letting them in the door. Beware of open houses. Here are some safety tips if you absolutely must do an open house, and then putting your value, not being home, not opening the door. So these are tips that not only are good for FSBOs, you can direct them to FSBOs, but anyone thinking about selling their house, even with an agent, these are thoughts that run through their mind. We're going to have strangers in our house. What do? You're telling them medicine out of medicine cabinets, jewelry out of jewelry boxes. You have 13 days of content right here that you can download. No excuses. Boom.
Okay, last 38 seconds, guys. I'm going to give you a resource where you can find for sale by owners. It's expressoagent.com. They actually will scrub the list for you. They'll find expires, they'll find FSBOs, they'll sign for rental by owners, which are similar to FSBOs, but it's landlords trying to rent properties themselves. So getting those as listings if you're in a bigger city, as well as going on to Zillow. They have a Make Me Move, and just search up owners.com. You can find a lot of FSBOs on there as well. But my name's Jeremiah J-Man Monero, and this is
Tracy, the safety lady, saying build your business, be safe, and make more money.
That's right. Follow her below and go out there and make it a great day. Thank you, folks.